This is WSHD Eastport, Maine. Welcome to Talkin' About the Arts. My name is Joan Loudon, and this show airs on 93.3 FM every Friday at 11 a.m. and repeats again at 4 p.m. I'm here in Eastport at the music and recording studio of Colie Brice, and we are going to chat about a number of topics, including the upcoming first and hopefully annual Eastport Music Festival in August. Hi, Colie.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for helping me promote what's going on.
Well, thank you for bringing this wonderful idea to the community.
Well, we haven't heard the results yet, so let's hopeful that everyone's grateful on the Monday proceeding.
Well, that's why I said the wonderful idea, because at the moment it's still an idea. But
no, it's looking very promising. We have over a dozen really interesting, eclectic, organically evolved local artists who have all graciously donated their time and their talent to play for us, so we can offer a free music festival here in Eastport, which I feel is such a natural location to have something of this. I don't know, just Water Street and that kind of nucleus, all the things down by Bank Square and all that. And we're trying to raise funds for the library, which is a desperately needed and
much valued
institution in our community. So it just seems like the right thing to do, and I think it's going to be a really good weekend for local businesses. I think we'll have a lot of people walking around. And
so how did the idea for a music festival come about? How did that start?
Anywhere I've ever lived, I've thought about music festivals, and I've been involved with them on different levels, and from organic small ones like this to larger efforts like in Asbury Park. A lot of people have wanted to do one for a long time. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Eastport Music Festival just kind of sounds like something meant to be. What happened most recently is that Gene Peacock invited me to an EDGE meeting, the Economic Development Team, and they were soliciting ideas of what we could do to promote tourism and more activity in the community. And I was stupid enough to be like, oh, let's have a music festival. I'm like, cool, it's your baby.
Stupid or very smart.
And it's like, here, you're now part of the committee and you got to get sworn in. But so I am now actually the project manager for music for the city of Eastport, Maine. I was sworn in at City Hall.
Wow. Well, congratulations, I think.
Thanks. Well, I think it's cool that we live in a city where you have a sworn-in city official for music.
That's incredible.
I mean, that's more progressive than the Bay Area.
Absolutely.
That's some cool stuff going on.
Absolutely. So tell me exactly when and where is the festival?
Well, it's here in Eastport, Maine, beautiful Moose Island, at the PV Memorial Library gazebo.
Which is behind the library on the other little open
just that
space.
Old-fashioned, gorgeous bandstand, and it'll be such a treat for the performers as well, because when you're playing up there and you can see the deck at the Crab and the people hanging out on the corner and the water, and it's a really, a scenic vista view that's very inspiring as a performer, and I think it'd be a natural place to congregate and to listen to music.
And the dates are?
August 9th, 10th, and 11th. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 3 o'clock to approximately 6 o'clock on Friday and Saturday, from 10 o'clock to like midday on Sunday.
And you have a website, I believe.
EastportMusicFestival.org.
And so that there will be updates, and the full schedule will be on there.
My wife Manuela has been killing herself on this website. I think it looks really nice, and she's done a great job maintaining things as they occur.
The updates,
and she's updating the roster daily. We're waiting on one final act, but otherwise we're fully booked.
Great.
I think we're solid on the lineup. We've got T-shirts coming, we've got a vinyl banner coming, and we've got guitar picks. So we are an official thing going on.
Once you have the guitar pick, then
hey, if you got a guitar pick, you have an event
with your logo on it.
Yeah. So
now, one of the interesting things about this festival is you're really trying to emphasize original music. Correct?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That's an important distinction.
Well, it's a great passion of mine personally. I'm currently working on my 38th solo album.
How do you keep track?
It's getting more difficult, actually. It really is. So I have a lifelong commitment to original music, both mine and helping other people with theirs, and I love it on a grassroots community level. I've seen original music when it gets integrated in a community that's struggling. I've seen it help form a cohesion socially and even economically, where it just creates a scene and a vibe. And I watched it happen in Hollywood when it became revitalized. I watched it happen in Asbury Park, and I think it's a natural fit here. And the other thing for me is we have an amazing abundance of visual artists here.
Yes.
We have sculptors, and painters, and it's like amazing stuff, and we celebrate it so thoroughly. But there's a commensurate level of evolution occurring artistically in original music. I mean, you've got John Newell, who's a great composer.
Yes.
You've got Greg Biss. There's jazz musicians, but there's also some folk musicians. There's some people, singer-songwriters that they do it for the love of the music, and they may have never even played at a quote-unquote music festival before. So I'm kind of looking for, is there a Woody Guthrie in the woods of Robbinston? Is like, what's out there to harvest?
There's so much inspiration with our physical environment, and also both the rural life and the cultural life here is so rich that it manifests it can manifest itself into song.
Right, and we're increasingly eating organic food. Well, there's also organic music.
Right.
Not everything has to be processed, auto-tuned, sanitized, clear channel garbage.
Right.
Maybe your neighbor's got a notebook full of tunes her grandfather wrote back during a certain epoch, and you're like helping bring them to life. So there's kind of there's a folk mining mission here too. I think there may be some really good stuff, beyond what we're familiar with already. So, and I think something like this kind of encourages people to come into the light a little bit
and give it a chance.
Yeah.
Now, so I know you're a musician, and you mentioned that you have a passion for original music, and you're also an excellent guitarist and singer. And how would you classify yourself? Do you or maybe you don't? Are you a guitarist who sings? Are you a composer who plays guitar?
I play drums, keyboards, guitar, and sing equally well. I recently broke up from the band I'd been in here for a long time called Rockweed, and I went back to the basics of just singing and playing acoustic guitar. And
you often play with your son, correct?
That's my favorite thing to do.
And how old is he?
17.
Wow.
And he's just a little monster. And it's like, watching like a software update of the best parts of yourself.
That's wonderful.
Someone got rid of some of the defects. I'm real proud of him, and we just have such a natural chemistry when we play together. It's it's intuitive. It's easy. I also like production. I like helping other singer-songwriters, and I like, I produced 3 albums for Fiddle Chick and Picky. And they just have such a tenderly wonderful story. Like,
They come up from Texas.
Yeah, Comfort, Texas, and she plays in the San Antonio region with a variety of bands. Just very empathetic, sweetest fiddle playing I had ever heard. I'd been invited to a potluck party on her porch and heard her play, and I was like, oh my God, there's just a certain tender sweetness to this.
Well, that's where I first heard them. I was walking my dogs down Water Street, and she and I think her husband were playing on their porch, and I stopped and just listened from the street, and then went up and chatted with them.
Well, John was not a lifelong musician. John saw her playing somewhere later in life after he had lost his first spouse, and he heard something about her needing a guitar player. So in his 60s,
he learned to play guitar just to play with her.
Just to get her. Just to get the girl. And if that's not one of the most sweet, tender, romantic stories I ever heard.
I love that.
So.
This is a tune by Fiddle Chick and Picky. They will be playing at 12 noon on Sunday, August 11th at the Eastport Music Festival. Fiddle Chick is Denise McCurdy on fiddle. Picky is John McCurdy on guitar, and Colie Brice will be joining them on bass. Fiddle Chick and Picky. Now, you grew up in New Jersey, correct?
Yes.
And I believe, rumor has it, that you went to high school with John Bon Jovi. Is that true?
Well, we went to the same high school. He was a couple years older than me.
Okay.
Involved in that whole scene in Saraville during the 80s, during the pop metal. I used to have hair up to here, and I used to have stock in Aquanet personally, so I could get some of my money back.
Oh, that's funny. And of course, the New Jersey music scene with Bruce Springsteen and Bon Jovi that must have been inspiring for you.
Actually, when Bon Jovi was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, John actually gave a shout out to my old band, Phantom's Opera.
Wow!
So that was pretty exciting for us to at least get. Yeah, it was cool.
Some recognition. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to know you're dialed into the family tree of something that's successful a little bit, you know?
Right.
Bruce is a particularly nice guy to a lot of musicians and a lot of worthwhile causes too. So,
right.
Really good rock and roll mentors in New Jersey.
But you left New Jersey, and how long have you lived in Eastport? And what brought you here?
We have been here. We just celebrated our 6th winter here. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like a notch on the barrel of your rifle or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually living in California where Elijah was born and where I met Manuela, and had a bass player friend of mine. They told me about it, and something about their description of it just, you know, I heard things about a rugged working waterfront, but I also heard it was really artist friendly. And when I lived in New Jersey, those two worlds were so far away from me. Like, something about up here, it felt like all these things could. I don't know. It's like it's a common story. I'm sure you've.
I felt the same way.
You've had your own thing. You get here and you're like, oh, I'm home.
Right. Immediately.
Your soul just tells you, like, you come over that causeway and just something fills your spirit, and you're like, this is it. This is the spot. You know,
you're the second or third person that I've interviewed that stated that exact thing. You come over the causeway, and isn't that interesting? It's like you're crossing into Oz or something.
Barbara Barrett, who I'm sure you've met, her husband Roland does amazing wood carvings. Yeah, she described that as being Eastported.
It's a strange fun. It's like, and I call it, or I've heard this it referred to as a vortex too. You're crossing.
Oh, it's definitely a creative vortex.
Now for you, that was for me, I'm semi-retired and by myself, so it was an easier move. But you had a family, so you know, making the decision to move a family, Manuela and Elijah, and you know, being concerned about having him thrive in school and all that must have been something that was a bit of a risk.
Yep, and certain members of my family had a lot of skepticism, is the politest way to describe it. But I also know that my kid could walk around the streets here safe and just, you know, be in the backyard with his dogs, and it just offered to me a chance for a kid to have nature and space and less intensity, because so many people are raising their kids to, like, all right, you got to be at swim team practice at 6:30 a.m. and then, you know, you got to do a weight room workout, and then you got to
overprogrammed.
Yeah,
every moment of their life is penciled in.
Yeah, I mean, life's tough enough. I wanted Elijah to just have a chance to just kind of see what his natural proclivities drew him to, and it's a good dice roll.
Well, you know, it seems like you as a family have thrived, and I know that you and Manuela, through her fiber arts, and you've certainly brought something special to the community, and I know everybody really appreciates everything that you've brought in terms of your enthusiasm and your passion and sharing it with the community, and hopefully it works in both directions.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all what we're trying to do, is just offer what we can of ourselves that will contribute to making it a better place, and I'm just trying to do what I can do, just like anybody else is trying to do what they can do. Just what's been really amazing to me is that when I did move up here, I had been a very active musician in the Asbury Park scene, and I honestly thought, well, you had a good run, you played a lot of gigs, you know, maybe you'll play a coffee shop or something with an acoustic guitar once in a while. I didn't
realize how busy you'd be?
No. I thought I was going into, I was kind of putting